as the senior economic advisor to the government of Japan for their economic linkages strategies in Asia-Africa. However, before this, he has worked as an economic consultant to UN agencies such as UNCTAD, UNIDO, and World Bank Agency. On a spiritual basis, he was the founding president of the Sri Sathya Sai Council of Malaysia, and now is the advisor and founder of the Friendship Group. On a personal note, he himself was an atheist until the age of 32 due to the adults in his life that could not explain the complexity of Hinduism. After a great miracle and realizing the depth of Hinduism, Uncle Jaga launched a worldwide movement called Track and Atma shortly after. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Uncle Jaga.
Hari Om, Om Shakti Om, Satchidananda, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Sai Ram. Have I covered all the groups? Okay. I would like to, I'm really very surprised and pleasantly surprised at the crowd that is here. It shows there is some thirst, and I also want to understand the incredible work here done by Mahesh and his wife here, and they've done this. 250 children coming and taking part in a spiritual camp like this is an amazing thing. I never heard of this anywhere in the United States or anywhere in Australia, okay, where I've attended many sessions. So this is a great program. I just want to get to know you a bit. I don't ask a few questions so I know who I'm addressing here. Firstly, how many of you here are listening to me? I've come to Atlanta before, as all of you may have guessed, okay, since I know all these people. How many of you here are listening to me for the first time? Raise hands, please. Oh my God, where were you last time? Last time I spoke at the Gujarat Samaj. The hall was packed. So I thought that was the ultimate number of Indians here. Now it looks like there's a whole new generation here. Okay, that's fine. Which means, I can say things I said the last time without repeating it. So how many of you have heard me before? Oh, thank God there's a minority, okay? You all can snooze for a while if you want. Because I've been asked by the organizers, Mahesh and his wife, that I should actually do a track launch. It's basically introduction what this whole program is about. And then if there is interest, then you all can carry this forward further. As the MC very nicely mentioned, when I go around talking about religion around the world, people think this guy is unemployed, nothing better to do in his life, okay? No, I'm employed. As you mentioned, I'm a senior economic advisor to the government of Japan for the Asia-Africa economic strategy. I'm very busy in fact, I go to Zambia 4 times a year. I spend 20 days each time in Zambia, then I travel around the world for Zambia. And I do things like this also, right now I'm here. Arrived yesterday evening and out of a long flight, and I'm actually, by halfway through this session you hear a snoring. It's me, okay? I'm really jet lagged, and so hopefully you all don't snore, it's okay, right? So this is this today's session is a track, as some of you may by now know. It stands for Tradition, Religion, Aspiration, Culture track, okay? In fact, around the world, from Malaysia, I've actually encouraged everyone to go back to the track. I've asked the Chinese in Malaysia to go back to Chinese track. In fact, I've urged the Europeans to go back to the European track, the Greek civilization, Italian, all these are great cultures, in the past, okay, but all these traditional cultures have been lost, okay, by modernization. And so we are trying to go back, bring back into your homes the traditional cultures that have sustained civilization for so many centuries. In the frightening scenario about Hinduism is that in one generation, this generation that we are in now, more than 5,000 years of culture, religious tradition is going to disappear. and all our homes will purely be television homes. TV culture will be the only culture we have. The question now is this, whether you all want to preserve the traditions and cultures of the past and take it forward so your children can enjoy the same heritage and same wealth that all of us enjoyed when we were young through our parents. This is the challenge. Before I proceed, let me share with you a little bit what the young lady said just now. I myself was an atheist. My family was a very religious family. My father died when I was 7 years old. So any of you here who are parents, father and mother, understand that the greatest gift God has given you. So make sure your parents thank God that you are their son and daughter. You have come to that later. But the very young age, my mother was a great devout Hindu, my relations around me. But very soon I became an atheist. Why? Because no one could explain to me anything about religion. When you go to Hindu temple, what do you see? You see a bull, you see a peacock, you see a snake, you see everything, like a whole zoo is there. And no one knows what the zoo is doing there. Okay? Why they don't know. Why Ganapati, you don't know. Why elephant, don't know. Why rat in the house, you kill the rat and come to the temple and pray to the rat. Okay? Why? I don't know. Why do you pray to the snake? I don't know. Why do you put vibhuti? I don't know. Why you put the word kumkum? I don't know. Why you show arati? I don't know. So much light is there, why you do some arati somewhere? No? I don't know. So I don't know religion. So I slowly thought, what kind of take in religion this is? Okay? Why should I be part of this religion? So I moved away and I became an atheist. For me, God was a joke. Okay? You know, but however, I was a very kind fellow. I used to encourage others to pray. You know, all the weak-minded people need God. Okay? Carry on. Strong-minded guy like me doesn't need God. Okay? Carry on, Lord, pray. And I used to take my mother to the temple. And I used to stand there and watch all these Hindus praying. And I said, oh my God, look at this. No one knows what's happening. Yet they do whatever they do, you see. That was my attitude. But to all the youngsters here, I tell you this, today I'm very successful in the world. Okay? I'm known around the world. And the only reason why for the success I think is because in the 32 years when I was an atheist, I had one God. And the one God was my mother. And this, every youngster, will understand this. Every youngster understand, okay? Whether you pray to God or not, okay, make sure you understand your father and mother is your first God. And this is the most important message I can ever give anyone in my life. The worship I gave my mother. What does the worship with mother mean? Doesn't mean I throw flowers at her every morning, you know. Mama, oh, mother. No. That's not the worship mother. How do I worship my mother? I made sure that whatever I do in my life, when until 32 years of my life, you know, I was going around the world. I was working in the Malaysian government at the time. I was working in the Ministry of Industry. I was the Deputy Director General of the Investment Center of Malaysia. I used to go around the world. Whatever I do, I ask only one question. If I do this, even though my mother doesn't know, if I do this, will mother be happy? If she's not happy, I won't do it. That was my guiding light. And I tell you, all of you youngsters here, I got incredible God's grace came to me through my mother. That is why any message I want to give to youngsters of this world, understand, father and mother, this is not something I'm cooking up, okay? Every religious tradition talks about this. In the Bible, 10 commandments. Among the 10 commandments, one of those commandments is honor thy father and mother. In Islam, it says, heaven lies at the feet of the mother. In Hinduism, it says, if you cannot worship the God you can see, how can you worship the God you cannot see? I'll tell you something else about the Tamil tradition. I don't know, how many of you, but let me check your language groupings here. Gujarati speaking. That's what 90%. Sindhis? One. Tamil speaking? Tamil all over here, okay? Malayali? Telugu? Any other language? Okay. So we can see a prominent Kemcho group here. Okay. And by the way, I must tell you, my dear sister and brother are Gujarati. They are really, Sharat Naik and Kusum, I've known them since 1990 in Zimbabwe when I met them. And they were in Zimbabwe. I worked for the government there in Zimbabwe for 4 months, helping them to set up their investment center. And they were the family I met there, and so loving family. And that 1990 contact has sustained us till now. Now I'm actually a refugee in your home. Very, very loving family. Okay, so that's so much. So this is a message I want to give to the Hindus. Like, okay, so come back to this one, okay? The Hinduism says, if you cannot worship the God you can see in front of your Father, how can you worship the God you cannot see? But let me tell you more than that. In the Tamil language, there's an incredible saying. I'm sure the same saying is in different languages. Since I don't know many other languages, I know Malay, but I have no point telling you Malay, okay? Malay language. In Tamil it says, Tandai sol mikkador mandiram illai. That means, there's no greater mantra than the word of the Father. Father says you do. And today in this world, there's one person all Hindus worship because his father said he did. Who was that? Who was that? Rama. Rama. Tomorrow was coronation. Tomorrow was coronation. He was going to be king. His father said, go to the forest, banished him because of his Zakmata. Did Rama say, hey Papa, what's wrong with you? Today son will take the father to Supreme Court, okay, for that. Without a murmur, Rama left. If Rama had challenged the father, hey Papa, who do you think you are? Why should I go? Do you think today we better worship him? Because of that. Rama is worshipped because he maintained that Tande Sol no greater mantra than Father's word. Of course, Father must be an honorable father. He can't be a drunkard and stand and say, hey, Jagadesham follows great and wrong. Father of God, you better follow what I'm telling you. The Father must be an honorable father. So, Tande Sol Mikkador Mantram. Now, tell you, what about mother? Can you imagine this now? It says, Tajinum Siranda Koil. That means, there's no greater temple than mother. Worship your mother, that is enough. Worship your mother. What do you mean worship your mother? Do things that will make her happy. Never bring tears to your mother's eyes. Every youth here, I tell you this now. If you want to be successful in life, you want to be happy in life, follow this commandment. You'll be successful. Now we go on to the. Actually, I went ahead of myself. Okay, I don't know why I went to this. Also, that's because of the name of myself. So that's what my life. Okay, until 32 years, then something happened, a miracle happened in my life, and then I realized God is there. Then I began to study my religion, Hinduism. And I realized, my God, it's not a pagan religion; it's a religion of pure science. And today I will share that with you. Okay. But before we go further, let's invoke divinity here. So let's join me in a song we're going to sing. I decided to use a bit of English into this song so that we don't complicate the youngsters. Okay, can we switch off some lights here, please? Anyone controlling lights in this room? Nobody knows where the lights are? Huh? Oh, I see, okay. You all can see, right? Okay, you not get a pair of spectacles, okay? Okay, no, you can see, okay. We have movement. And I've got a young man here who's going to play the keyboard here. Tell them what's your name.
I'm Bharat.
Bharat. Bharat, can you imagine? Going to play for Ganapati. What better person to play? Okay, let's sit up straight. Sit up, don't slouch. All youngsters, sit up straight. Thank you for putting away your computer. I really appreciate it. I very appreciate it. Anyone else having a computer in their hand? I mean, put it away for a while. Unless you're taking notes what I'm saying, okay? 3 goals, please, huh?
Vinayaka Vigneshwara
He says, look, why all the young girls sitting in the back there come front? All the youngsters come front. Come. Take front, occupy the front seat. Come. I'm not, I'll only ask questions to those sitting in the back, okay?